Donald Trump, a name synonymous with polarizing politics, reshaped the American political landscape during his first presidency from 2017 to 2021. Known for his unconventional approach, he often clashed with both domestic and international norms. His administration was marked by significant deregulation, a strong focus on nationalism, and controversial policies on immigration and social issues. Despite losing the 2020 election, Trump remained a significant figure in American politics, continuing to influence his party and its direction. In 2025, Trump made a remarkable political comeback, winning the presidency again. His return to power was both celebrated and feared, depending on whom you asked. Seen as a continuation of his earlier policies, his second term began with bold moves aimed at reshaping civil rights enforcement and international relations. Many Americans are concerned that his leadership might bring another civil rights crisis, given the past controversies over his policies affecting marginalized groups. The potential for a civil rights crisis under Trump's leadership is not unfounded. His previous administration was criticized for undermining civil rights protections, especially for racial and ethnic minorities, the LGBTQ+ community, and immigrants. Observers note that his second term might intensify these trends, leading to significant societal divisions. Understanding Trump's political background helps in anticipating the implications of his policies on civil rights in America. In the initial months of his second term, President Trump launched several initiatives that raised alarms among civil rights advocates. One of the notable actions was the reshaping of the Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights, OCR. The administration initiated plans to close investigations related to book banning, while controversially opening new Title IX investigations targeting gender-inclusive policies in schools. These actions were seen as steps to enforce a conservative agenda on educational institutions. Simultaneously, the Trump administration issued a White House executive order titled "Ending Radical Indoctrination in K-12 Schooling." This order threatened to withhold federal funding from schools that promoted what it termed discriminatory equity ideology. The policy was a direct challenge to schools that implemented diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, sparking debates about educational freedom and federal overreach. Moreover, Trump's administration reaffirmed its stance on Title IX regulations, emphasizing due process for those accused of sexual assault while not explicitly protecting gender or sexual identity. This move reversed protections expanded during the Biden era, attracting criticism from human rights organizations. These early actions suggest a systematic approach to redefine civil rights in a manner that aligns with conservative values, raising concerns about the erosion of hard-won rights. The Trump administration's policies have had profound implications for various groups, notably students, LGBTQ+ individuals, and indigenous peoples. The administration's focus on educational policies, particularly through the OCR, has directly impacted students of color, LGBTQ+ students, and those with disabilities. Schools promoting diversity and inclusion have faced increased scrutiny, with potential funding cuts looming over those that fail to comply with the administration's directives. LGBTQ+ rights, especially those of transgender individuals, have come under attack. The administration's approach to Title IX has excluded explicit protections for gender identity, making it harder for transgender students to find acceptance and support in educational settings. This has led to increased fears of discrimination and harassment, threatening the safety and well-being of LGBTQ+ students across the nation. Indigenous peoples have also felt the impact of Trump's policies. The continuation of projects like the Thacker Pass lithium mine in Nevada, without proper consultation with indigenous communities, has been criticized for violating their rights to religion, culture, and ancestral lands. The administration's disregard for the free, prior, and informed consent of these communities highlights broader issues of environmental justice and cultural preservation. On the international front, Trump's administration has been similarly aggressive in its actions, marked by disengagement from global human rights frameworks. In early 2025, the administration withdrew from the UN Human Rights Council, defunded a UN refugee agency, and enacted sanctions against the International Criminal Court officials. These actions have drawn widespread condemnation from human rights advocates worldwide. Legally, the Trump administration has sought to review and potentially withdraw from several international treaties and conventions. This move, seen as an attempt to assert national sovereignty, threatens to weaken international human rights mechanisms that have long provided a check on governmental power. The administration's stance raises concerns about increased impunity and diminished global rule of law. Domestically, changes in legal interpretations and bureaucratic measures further complicate the civil rights landscape. The Supreme Court's decision to end Chevron deference adds uncertainty to the administration's ability to enforce its agenda through agencies like the OCR. These changes, combined with the administration's policies, suggest a challenging path ahead for civil rights advocates seeking to uphold and advance equality in America. In conclusion, as America grapples with these developments, the potential for a civil rights crisis looms large. Lessons from past civil rights movements remind us of the power of collective action and the importance of vigilance in protecting rights. Whether America can navigate these turbulent waters without succumbing to a full-blown crisis remains to be seen.